Hi everyone, my name is Tony, and this is the first YouTube video I've done in probably 7 or 8 years. I had actually done a video many years ago about my experience as an ex-Jehovah's Witness, and I did take those videos down. The reason is because even though I was very firm in being an ex-Jehovah's Witness at the time, I um, was embarrassed and perhaps afraid of letting people know that, you know, I was an ex Jehovah's Witness. It's been many years later and I am older, and now I want to retell my story. Since I've left the organization, I did actually go back and I left again. There's a lot in between that I will eventually share, but not for this video. This video and its title is to really talk about the reason I am doing this again. Leaving the organization the second time, which I did probably about a year and a half ago. I would like to say is probably the last time I will ever leave the organization, but that finality of me coming to terms with my non-belief in the organization has left me feeling lost. I have felt lost a lot throughout the years, and I've never really addressed that directly. I know it and I can sense it within myself, but I avoid dealing with it. And one of the things I regret doing is removing myself from YouTube and sharing my story, because I think that when I was doing that, being able to talk to others and sort of share experiences was somewhat healing for me. And when I went into hiding, I lost that. And I think that over time, it became the reason I eventually went back to the Kingdom Hall, amongst a lot of other things, which I'll share eventually. But I've titled this video in this way because I've realized that when you lose Jehovah, and I'm calling it that because if you've grown up as a Jehovah's Witness and all you've known is Jehovah, your identity becomes Jehovah's Witness. And you then, when you leave, have to figure out who you are. Who am I without Jehovah? What are my moral values? How much of me was just trying to please the organization or my parents or, brothers and sisters, versus being authentically who I am? And so I have found that over the years, I have had to redevelop, I guess, my sense of self. Now, I will say, I think that a lot of who I was as a witness is who I am as not being a witness. I tend to live my life the same way. I think the biggest difference is that I am freer to question now. I have always been a very inquisitive person, and one of the reasons I left the organization was because I was questioning things that I could not get answers to. And that prompted me to sort of suppress at one point the natural part of me that doesn't just believe things because someone said it. So now I think I have sort of accepted that part of who I am because I'm no longer ashamed of it. It encompasses who I am in my work life and in my personal relationships. I question everything. I don't believe anything anyone says without a fact to back it up. And I don't want to lose that part of who I am. I think it's a great way to be, personally. So I own that and appreciate that about myself now. However, there is a part of me that still feels lost. I think I've lost friendships as I've grown as an adult. I don't I don't have friends, and there are still a few people from the organization that I speak to every now and then, but for the most part, I don't talk to anyone that I knew from the Kingdom Hall, and I find it difficult to create relationships with people outside of the Kingdom Hall. I have a job, and you know, throughout me going to school at different points in my life, I don't develop relationships with people. I can't 100% blame the Kingdom Hall for that. I don't know if that's just a part of me who feels like all worldly people are bad still, or if that's just really truly who I am. But I do know it's a bit of a crisis because I don't like not having any friends at all. But that's sort of my comfortable space now. I've had to deal with my loss of faith since losing Jehovah. I have, just to be very honest and candid, lost faith in God. And I don't think that that's something that anybody can change. So I know that some people will come and respond and say, well, Jesus this or Jesus. I've listened to those things and I've heard those things, but since leaving the organization, I've really moved more towards researching and learning a lot more about science. And that has led me away from belief in deity. And I shared this with my elders when I went back to the Kingdom Hall, but it was something that I think that they couldn't process, they didn't know how to handle, and it ended up not being addressed, and amongst a lot of other things, that lack of answers. When I went back to the Kingdom Hall, I felt that, okay, this is where Jehovah wants me to be. I've been out in the world for all these years, and maybe Jehovah's calling me back, of course, because that's what I'm hearing, from the elders as well. And in my opinion, if Jehovah were real, I think he would sense in me a true desire to have had faith. I desired faith at that time. I would pray for faith, and it just never came. Oftentimes I would beat myself up because I would say, well, why, Jehovah, did you give me this brain that makes me question everything if it's gonna make me question you? And that was, instead of owning what I would say was my reality, which is that I just didn't believe, I was trying to force myself into belief, and that just doesn't work. So that is also a struggle that I have. So it's a journey for me. This is just the first video that I'd like to share. I will do another video where I will go into my actual story about why I left the organization. But I really just wanted to get myself back out there and begin to um, reach out to people, um, so that that shared dialogue can help me heal and accept where I am, which is no longer a Jehovah's Witness. And since I am putting this video under my real profile, my real name, I don't know what consequences this may have for me. I am baptized, but I did get lost in the organization until I went back. I mean, honestly, the new elders at the New Kingdom Hall had a hard time even finding my publisher's card. So it's weird because I figured, hey, I probably could have just came back and not just kind of been there and not had the pressure of what it's like to be a baptized witness, but of course, I was honest when we went back and let them know that I was a witness and this is, all of that. But I don't know if there'll be consequences for me. Maybe not. I mean, I'm an adult now, so I don't fear the consequences as much as I feel like I did when I was younger, when I was a teenager, when I was first beginning to question things, and sort of onward into my early 20s, I still had that fear of what people would think if they found out that I didn't believe in Jehovah anymore. I was one of those people who was really, I wouldn't say I was, I wasn't a pioneer or anything like that. I just really believed in Jehovah. I was never an outgoing person. So, field service always was very uncomfortable for me. So I didn't really like doing it, but I read the Bible all of the time. I would study it, because I wanted to learn. And honestly, studying the Bible is what made me begin to question the things that were written in the watchtowers. Because if you study the Bible, which I'm pretty sure many ex-Jehovah's Witnesses will tell you, you will begin to realize that it does not coincide with many of the things that the organization teaches us. And so that, doing that, reading the Bible by itself is what led me to not believe in the organization. As funny as that may sound, it is absolutely the truth. I had, when I would read the watchtowers, and try to reconcile those with what I was reading in the Bible, they made me lose faith because it didn't make sense to me. So I had, personal study was not good for me because personal study led me away from the organization. And so that's where I am today. I'm still finding myself. I am still learning who I am as a person and as a, my spirituality, or lack thereof. I'm still learning to get settled in that space and accept who I am without Jehovah. And so that's really all I wanted to share with you guys today. I probably won't be sharing my face in my videos, and I'm sorry for anyone who finds that someone impersonal. This is just a random picture that I slapped together, but it that is not me. So I generally do not like being on camera, so I prefer a level of anonymity, at least for now. We'll see what the future holds, but I really hope that someone will reach out, someone who understands and want to chat or talk to me, because like I said, that's the whole point of me trying to get back on YouTube. I need to get out of this sort of funk that I've been in over the years in uh, losing myself. When I lost my faith in the organization um, and Jehovah, I feel a big piece of me, and it's been a process in recovering from that. So I hope that, I'll get a chance to talk to people or get to know some of you who've had similar experiences. But that's all for now. Thanks.